After the toppling of Venezuelan leaders Nicolas Maduro, US President Donald Trump has threatened key ally Cuba. Trump on Sunday asked Cuba to make a deal soon, pledging to cut off all oil and money flowing to the island nation. Taking to his social media, Truth Social, Trump has said that for many years, Cuba lived on large amounts of oil and money from Venezuela, and in return, Cuba provided security services for the last two Venezuelan dictators, and that he will not allow it further. He suggested Cuba to make a deal before it is too late. Now, Trump, however, provided no details about what potential deal he referred to or what such an agreement would achieve. Trump's comments come as US intelligence has painted a grim picture of Cuba's economic and political situation. However, its assessment offered no clear support for Trump's prediction that last weekend's military action in nearby Venezuela leaves Cuba ready to fall. Though the threatening post drew an angry retort from Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel, who said that no one would tell his country what to do. Miguel further said that Cuba does not attack, but has been attacked by the US for 66 years, and that it stands ready to defend the homeland to the last drop of blood. Cuba's foreign minister also weighed in to stress that Cuba is within its rights to import fuel from any willing exporter without interference or subordination to unilateral coercive measures of the United States. On the streets of Havana, Cubans seemed to dismiss the US leader's latest bluster.
It is very unlikely that they touch Cuba. Impossible. I can assure you, Trump is not going to touch Cuba. He is not going to touch it. Besides, the Americans have always said that we Cubans are talkative. They have always said it. Notice that all the presidents say it, but they don't act.
He knows perfectly well that he has to find a solution because he can't just take over Cuba like that. And if he went down that route with Venezuela, it's because there were shady things going on. Cuba is Cuba and Venezuela. They're totally different. And yes, we will be quite affected, quite a lot.
Earlier, the US President reposted a message that jokingly suggested US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who is the child of Cuban immigrants, could also become the president of Cuba. It is known that US Special Forces raided on Maduro and his wife that left dozens of the ousted Venezuelan president's security personnel dead, many of whom were Cuban. For decades, Washington has imposed economic-crippling sanctions on Cuba, but Trump has ramped up the pressure in recent days. A Cold War-era US trade embargo has changed Cuba's economy beginning in 1962, and since 2000, Havana increasingly has relied on Venezuelan oil, provided as part of a deal struck with Maduro's predecessor, the firebrand leftist Hugo Chavez.